the paper monkey. So I was doing a live earlier and it got me to thinking. The live was about harvesting images. We were actually harvesting some vintage images, but after the live was over, I just continued to harvest images out of different books and things like that. And I got to these images. I talked a little bit about this, on the live also, but I thought, let me do a quick video for those of you out there who may not have any idea what you can do with the larger images. Because I know that was me just a few short years back. I knew I loved them, right? I mean, look at this. This is out of a book. It's all about dahlias. I hope I'm saying that right. Let me show you the book cover. I know sometimes people are interested in that. They want to see the actual book cover, and I'm going to show it to you. Let me grab it out of my little stack here. Here was the book. It was, I can't remember, less than $2. And I knew once I saw all the images in it, they were gorgeous and I wanted to do something with it. So what can you do? I'll show you a couple of things. Typically, what I do, this is my process. Don't come to my channel for tutorials. I will show you my process, okay? I'll take the whole book and I will harvest the images that I want to keep. All right. This, I went ahead and harvested this. These are the fly pages, leaf pages, whatever you call them. So let's go through. Let's just look. See how beautiful these are? Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Let's do, okay. I'm going to separate these. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I will keep the folios. That is what, when you, and I didn't know this, so I'm not trying to be condescending to anyone, okay? When you take apart a book and you take apart pages that are still connected, this is called a folio, okay? I did not know that 3 years ago, but that's what that's referred to as a folio. We're going to work with this image right here. I'm going to put everything else over here for now. We'll pull a couple more in a minute. Oh, look at that one. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. We're going to work. Just fate. That just came together. Didn't even try. Okay. So what I would do with this image to store it, you know, I'm not working on anything that requires it right now. I know I want to keep it and I know I want to use it in the future. But of course, I'm not going to know what size journal I have, anything like that. But I'm just going to clean up the little rough edge. Okay. Clean up that little edge right there. And then get my glue book. And I'm going to tell you something. This glue book has been bothering me because it's like lumpy right there. And it feels like there's something in it. But there's not. But I bought this specifically because of the size. Is why I bought it. Anyway, too much information. I look at this thing and I think, you know what? That would be a beautiful page, wouldn't it? It would just be pretty. So I say to myself, Sylph, get out your coffee dyed paper. Okay. And just glue it to the coffee dyed paper. And then that way, when you go to use it, of course, not knowing what size you need at the time, but it's junk journaling, so the size could be smaller or bigger than you need. Just glue it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue. I'm going to put the glue on this side. I'm using this Scotch purple glue stick. Probably would need to use, because this is a little glossy. I'll tell you, this is a little glossy. If you really want to ensure that it's going to stick down, you could use your Fabri-Tac. Okay, that is going to, glossy will stick, that will ensure that you've got permanent adhesion. I'm okay with just sticking it down for now with this purple glue stick. I think it's going to be okay if it, you know, when the time comes that I actually use it, if it's not completely adhered to this page, then guess what? I'll use my Fabri-Tac at that point. So I'm just really going to try, again, I'm just trying to center it as best I can. To a coffee dyed page that's 8.5 by 11. This is just a piece of copy paper that I dyed with coffee. That's all that is. Okay, and I'm going to come on this side, and I'm really going to use this little tool to burnish it down. I get this at the Dollar Tree. Pick up a few of them at the Dollar Tree. They get all gluey too. I need to clean this one. As you're working with glue on your hands and stuff. And you can I usually just clean them with a baby wipe or an alcohol wipe. That's how that's how I clean it. And then I'm going to take this, okay, and I'm going to see how it curls up? I'm going to put this underneath a stack of books for a day, an hour, 3 hours, usually. Well, I know today I'm going to, because I'm going to be gone for the next few days, I'm going to put this under my stack of books, and whenever I come back, it should be flat and adhered. It should be adhered. Now, if I wanted to, whenever I come back, I can also stitch around this with Samuel L. Jackson. I'll pop up on the screen here who Samuel L. Jackson is. I have a little explanation for those of you who may be new here. So there's that, okay? You've got that. Then I took what I did earlier. I had some old music paper, right? And I knew I loved this image, so I glued it already. And I knew I'd want to keep it too. So that's been drying for a little while. Let me get y'all in screen. I've got y'all, let me see if I can, a little bit better, if I can come out a little bit. My honey got a new to him lawnmower. It's used, but it's new to him. And he's been out there, y'all. He washed it. He cleaned it all up. He's been on that thing. You should see him. He's like a kid in a candy store. It's so cute. Anyway, so if you hear the lawnmower, that's just him out there getting the yard all prepped. We got some colder weather coming. It's not that he's cutting the grass. He's just kind of mulching the leaves and giving it a good little last winter trim, or last before the winter comes trim. Okay. So you see we've got that. So now if I wanted to, see that's got glue. I need to clean that off. Well, actually what I could do is see how that would go into a page, and I could sew around that. I could cut it. Technically, I really could cut it in half. Let's just do it. It's paper. Let's cut it in half and see. You already know just visually that is a flower. You could make it a little pocket, right? You could also, I wonder what would happen. Let me see something. I was going to say if we cut it on an angle, that'd be the wrong angle, I think. We could make it a little tuck, though. Watch this. Why couldn't we? We could put that on a page and make that a little tuck. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm just going to save it just like that. I'm going to put it in, I have a little storage place where I put things like that. Yeah, here's another one. I'll just trim that up a little bit. I'm going to go over, I don't have Samuel L. Jackson set up here. I'm going to go sew around this so you can see visually what it looks like. But I used some gold thread that I had to stitch around that with a decorative stitch. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Anyway, I mean, that's just another option if you have a sewing machine. I can clean that up if I needed to. I'll do that later. Anyway, if you have a sewing machine, you can go around it. Listen, if you don't have a sewing machine, how about going around the edge with just some paint. Or a paint pen. How about a paint pen? If you have a paint pen. How about if you went through, let's see, do I have one up here? I've got every kind of pen imaginable, but nope, I got one. How about if you went through with a Sharpie and you just drew hearts around it? Just sporadically. It's junk journaling. I'm learning to let go. I still am, am who I am, but junk journaling has taught me that it is just paper. You can be decorative without having all the bells and whistles. There are different options. The options are really endless, so keep that in mind. So I'll put that in my little stash of pages to pull from. Let's see, what else do I have? I had something else up here. Where did I put it? I pre-made a tag. And I thought, oh, here it is. So look, I cut down, this was on a full-size page of this. This was the entire page, just like what you saw here was the entire page. So is this. This was an entire page. And I said, let me just cut it down in a way. Do I know what visually looks good? Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. But, again, just paper. So I said, well, how about that for a tag? Then I take one of these cards. Now, I have a bunch of these cards. You can cut the angles any way you want. You can have, in fact, let's try that. I saw somebody with a very exaggerated angle, like the angle was huge. And I said, I want to try that. I wanted to try that. So I've got this right here. So I'm going to make this angle like it was crazy, like that. And I just thought it was so interesting looking. So we're going to take, I just flipped it over to the other side, okay? And I'm going to, and you don't even have to do this. You can flip this card back and forth and use it'll be the same on both sides if you do it that way. I'm just going to do that. Look, I'm telling y'all, it was just like that. And it was so interesting. So that's what I mean. If you cut this side, you don't even have to cut the other side. Just flip it over. And if you do it like that, it's going to mirror the side you just did. They'll be exactly the same. So see? Isn't that cool? It's just different. It's just so exaggerated. And I thought, oh yeah, I need to try that. I'm glad I cut that. Use any kind of old little key card that you have like that. And then we will, let's see. Yeah, let's do it. And I just eyeball it. I never measure like what's the middle. No, I don't do that. Now I have some little hole reinforcers. I have a few. Let me show you. Let me show you something. So I pick them up at the thrift store. I do. I pick them up at the thrift store. Got these. I've got these that are, I just found these the other day. I had some and I was running out. These are colored ones, right? They came just like you see them here. But for purposes of this, I think what I'm going to do, I already did. You know how you achieve that look? I'm going to show you. You take your vintage photo. You can take any color that you might have. If you don't know what I'm referring to, let me pull this out. It's a vintage photo, right? Okay. And then all you're going to do is go around your little hole reinforcers and you have aged hole reinforcers, okay? But like I said, any color you want to do, you can do. Let's see. I've got green. I've got more, but I'm just pulling the ones that I keep up here. I've got black. I've got this mulberry. I bet that would have been pretty for Christmas. I wish I'd have remembered that. This green would have been pretty too. And then, what else do I have? Oh, this walnut. Oh, this fire brick. I wonder what that walnut would look like. I don't know if I have. Let me see. No. Do I have it on the bottom? Sometimes I will glue the little pad on the bottom so I know that that's what goes with it. You know what I mean? I don't see my little walnut one. Shoot. Oh, I just dropped. Shoot. I would test it for you guys. Let's see. Let's just... Maybe I'll do that another time. Let's put a little hole reinforcer on here. And we'll go ahead and put it on the back too. And then, what I'll do, let me show you. I got my friend Debbie DePaul found me a big enamel bucket, and that's where I keep all my scraps now. Just throw them over there. Just throw them over there in the corner. Let's see what we have here. And when I tell you it is full, this one's probably not long enough. I could have stapled it though. That's okay. That's all right. It's all right. Look how cute. I got plenty, promise. Oh, look at this one. Let's do this one. Yeah, that's gonna work. And it's raggy too. I love it. Okay. Let's throw that in here. Wait, where's my tweezers? I sit here this afternoon, and that's what I'll do for the next hour or so. Then I gotta go in and kind of get ready for the week. You know, the Sundays. I don't have the Sunday scaries, though. I'll be honest with you guys. I like, I'm having a good time at my little job. Now, would I rather be a lottery winner? Yes, I would rather be a lottery winner. But, but I do have, I work with some decent folks, and that's what it's all about. So then what I could do, just if I wanted to just kind of tamp down those edges a little bit. I'm sorry for the reach, because I have started rounding the bottom corners of my tags because they seem to slide in and out easier of the pockets. So, and then if you wanted to, watch this. Let's just go ahead and full out decorate. How about that? Let's just go ahead and full out decorate. That's a little big. Let's see what else I got in here. Let's see what else I got in here. How about, I kind of like that one, actually. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. And guess what, guys? Oh, look, it's a sticker. Even better. Let me, I'm gonna make sure, even though it's not white, I'm still gonna do that. Yeah. Okay. And then we will call this, how about that? I could have put it on the front too. I could have put some kind of something. I have a, I don't know, I got a bunch of stuff from my friend Veronica recently, and I threw it all right here. Let's see. Let's just take a peek. What kind of little sentiment or something? This was fun too. Oh, how about that? I like it. This is what we're gonna do. Oh, I love this. I love it. Now this is not a sticker, so let's go ahead. Oh, I know y'all hear that lawnmower now. Success is no accident. And we're just going to call that good. Now, I could go stitch around it if I wanted. I mean, there are a number of different things you can continue to do if you wanted to put like a little Tim Holtz person, or, you know, he doesn't really go. Not that there's any rules in junk journaling. I'm just saying. Tim Holtz-y little person would probably be good. A little something like this. Possibilities are endless. And I guess my whole point being, you don't have to overcomplicate it. You really don't. I'm gonna keep these little things. But there you go. You have a tag. So that's another thing you can do with the larger images. You can just cut them down to fit whatever you need. You've got a totally different look there, right? Okay. Let's move on to put some of this stuff back. Okay. Let's say you have this. I'm wondering, what I'm thinking is, I thought I had a little scrappy scrap. I thought I just had a scrap there. Huh. What happened to it? I thought we'll dig a scrap out. So let's just cut right on the other side of this. Give ourselves some room. Okay. Let's do that. And I really thought, okay. Let's pull some of this craft paper cardstock real quick. It doesn't have to be this. I'm just going to cut this little raw edge off of it. Just trim that off, which doesn't really matter again. What I'm wondering is to cut around the shape of it and make a tuck, but I need it to be reinforced on this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fine, and then just cut around this, and then it becomes the tuck. I feel like I need to cut this little raw edge off, clean that off a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let me glue this down. If I used art glitter glue, it'll dry faster. Let me try it. Let me try it with my art glitter glue. Okay. Art glitter glue does not have glitter in it. That's what I thought it was just a few short years ago. I didn't know what art glitter glue was. That's just the brand. Art glitter glue is the brand name of this glue. This glue has a very high concentrate of water. Therefore, it dries very quickly. It adheres very quickly. You won't have a lot of time to move it around. Okay? So once it's down, it's pretty much down. Okay, keep that in mind when you're using art glitter glue. Usually art glitter glue is not your preferred method to use on glossy paper either, which this is. This is a glossy paper, but we're just gonna test it. We're gonna see if it'll adhere enough, but I'm gonna let it dry for a minute. We'll stick it over here and we'll let that dry for a minute. Okay, now we've got this. We've got this little thing right here, which I think what I'm gonna do on this one is I think I'm going to trim all of this off, right? Yeah, I'm gonna trim all of this off. And then I'm gonna sew around this. And I'm gonna sew around this with a black thread, because I want you to, I want to show you visually how the contrast looks. This is what it, of course, looks like. So you see the contrast of that black. One of the things that I do, and I know this is repetitive for some of you, so just bear with me. For anybody new here, I want to make sure and point this out because this has been kind of a game changer for me. When you sew on paper, you may have the chance that it's not going to grab like it typically would on fabric, right? It's not going to knot down like it typically would and be a secure stitch. So I always put a little dab of art glitter glue in that last stitch so it gets down in the hole and it just helps to secure that last stitch. I don't know where my little gluey thing, where my glue topper is. Of course. Anyway, so that can help to secure that stitch. And then see how I do right here? Let me just cut this real quick. And you can also, if you want to, you just leave the stitches out. I just cleaned it up for this one. So that is that. Now, one other thing that I want to point out, whenever I use, this is my process, not a tutorial. Whenever I do stitches like this, like different stitches, no rules to junk journaling, but visually, I will start with a straight stitch. I'll go with this stitch, then I'll go straight. But if you notice on this side, I do the opposite with this stitch, right? I can't remember what the stitch is called. This is how little, okay? This is how little I know about sewing. So again, for any of you out there who thinks you can't do this, I'm telling you, you can. But you can see I did the stitch here, but on this side, I did it the opposite. And to me, it's just a little more visually interesting. Maybe it's not, but to me it is. So anyway, there's a large journaling card. Large journaling card. Would be for one of your bigger books, right? So now on this one, I say what we do. Let me think about this a second. I'm going to clean up the edge. Just clean up that edge a little bit. What could I think we would just probably go back to, I'm trying to think. I wonder what it would look like if we just centered that up. How would that look? Let's do it. We're just going to do it. Get this out of the way real quick. And I know this is going to dry up if I don't find that little thingy. And I'm going to need it and it's going to be dried up. Okay, what I'm thinking is, let's cut this down. Now, I like a tag to be like 3.5. That is usually where I like the width of my tag to be. How does that look? And then 3.5 by 5 is there. No, I want it this may not look right, y'all, but that's okay. What do you think? I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure I'm crazy about that, but we're gonna let it ride for now. And then what I'm gonna do, let me cut this off. I'll cut this off. Okay, I'm gonna let that keep drying over there. And then we're gonna we're gonna glue this down. We'll see when we cut the angles, what it's gonna look like. Maybe it'll work out. Let's try. Again, just paper. Try not to overthink these things. Ooh. I am the chapter president here in Louisiana of the Overthinkers Club, let me tell you. Ooh, I can... Oh, my goodness gracious. I can overthink something into oblivion. Let's see. Okay. Have to go and clean up some of that glue. All right. Burnish that down real good. Okay, we're going to stick it over there and let that dry for a minute. In fact, let me put it underneath this little thing I have right here. Okay. Now, on this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to start cutting around this, because my thought was we would have this become a tuck on a page. And when you're cutting, move your page, not your scissors, right? Turn your page to meet your scissors, not the opposite. You're going to get a better cut like that. And just know you don't have to go through every little crevice. It's okay. It'll be okay. Oops. Okay. Now, let me show you something. I think that's probably, let's look at this book right here. I just got this book the other day too. I've already pulled some pages from it. But look, what if you did it like this? Look how beautiful that is. And then all you have to do is that becomes your little tuck. Isn't that, I think that's fabulous. Now, can I clean it up some more? Sure. Yeah, we can clean that green up a little bit more. But I'm just saying, in your stash of things, that is just beautiful. I love this. Okay, so there is that one. How long have we been going? I don't think we've been going 20 minutes, have we? Let me cut this little stuff off here, because I think I can use this. In fact, hold on a minute. Can we? Oh, we're doing it. Look at this. Oh, yeah, we're doing it. Mm-hmm. I will cut that. Oh, yeah. And why not? We could use every piece of that little stuff. No scrap goes to waste. Now, of course, listen, I cannot keep every piece of scrap. I don't keep every piece of scrap. I don't, there's no way. I don't have that kind of room in here. I would be drowning. I purposefully left some space around it. So, if you wanted to, you can either come and cut around it, or, again, look, put that as a little tuck on the page, or you could have this as, sew around it, or don't sew around it, journaling card. Okay? I mean, it's that simple, y'all. It is that simple. Okay? So we did fresh here. Okay, just to show you guys, we're going to recap real quick. We did this as, we could use it as a page with a gold thread. If you don't have gold thread, you can use gold pen. You don't even have to do anything else. It can just be this. A large journaling card. This glued onto coffee dyed paper. And there you go. Now, one thing I would do, let me show you guys, because this was something I didn't know either. Let me show you. I'm trying to pull this out. I have to move some stuff out of the way real quick. This little board here. Again, I turn on the camera, I forget all my words. I don't know what is what. So, we've got, that's not even 11 inches. Well, it's not quite, is it? Let's see, where would that kind of wind up being? Let's see right there. you have to score it. A scoring board, that's what it's called. Carry a scoring board. Really, it is better. It's kind of better to score if you can, because then it won't crack when you go to fold the page. Because sometimes your image will crack and it'll come apart, like it'll separate. So when you have a thicker page like this, or it's crumbly, sometimes it is better to go ahead and score it if your plan is to use that as a page. See how it kind of wrinkled up a little bit? Which is fine. I'm okay with that. I'm just, as a suggestion, see if you have a scoring board. Now you can also, if you have this right here, you can use this to score. You just do the same thing, right? You just put it right here and you just follow that this little davit crease. I've seen people do that too. So anyway, so we've got that. Okay. I don't know where I got this from. Was this from, is EK Tools? I might have got that from Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeff is Amazon. That's what I call Amazon. Because he may as well be my drunk uncle that I keep giving money to. We did these little journaling cards. We cut that image down in a way that it still looks like a flower. We can sew around it again, or you could write on it. You could put a focal point on it. Let's see what else I got here. Look. How about that? I'm serious. Look. If you wanted to, you could dress this up. I mean, it just really, it's very, I know, I hesitate to say it's simple, because I know some people just think, oh yeah, it's not as easy as all. Yeah, it kind of is, really and truly. It kind of is. Is this too wide? Yeah, see, that's too wide. You want to cut that down, cut that little fringe off and use the fringe on it. Use the fringe on the top, and there you go. You know, I know I'm kind of hurrying through this, but I really don't want to belabor the point. I want you guys to know that you can just sit and have a play, and even if it doesn't look right to you, it's just paper. Start over. It's just paper. Just play. Just have fun. Have fun. Look at this little kitty cat. Oh my goodness. I have some friends who are dying right now watching this because they love the little kitty cats. Yeah. I'm going to do the little typewriter. How about that? I don't ever feel like I'm very good at collage, so that's why I don't do a whole lot of like layering and stuff on camera, because I just don't feel like I'm good at it. I'm getting better, but it just takes practice. You just have to practice at it. There are people out there who can teach you how to collage. My friend Jennifer at Scrapbooks and Memories, she's doing a whole series right now. In fact, I've been meaning to shout out her about that, because I need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to link it for you guys if you guys are interested in like learning the techniques of collage, because there's a rhyme and reason to it. I'll link that. And Jennifer, if you watch this, you go, girl. I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Anywho, that is going to end this video today. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, just giving you an idea of what you could do with some of the things that you can do with large images. There are a number of other things you can do, but this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys coming along. Thank you guys again. And remember what I always say, I hope that whatever it is you guys get to do today or in the next few days, it is at least as much fun as I've had showing you what you can do with larger book page images. Thanks guys, and we'll chat soon. Bye.